Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Thursday, December 23rd, otherwise known as Christmas Eve, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. Coming up here on the end of the year, and let's see if we can push through with Innistrad Crimson Vow. Some good, final good drafts here. Alright, cool. So commons here. Let's take a look. Fierce Retribution. Probably the best one. I mean, it's fine. I don't think I want to be first picking it, though. Uncommons Dormant Grove is the best one. I think this might be the best uncommon in the set. But there is by invitation only here, and this card's pretty insane. Not only could it just be a Wrath when you want it to, but if you have more creatures than them, you can leave some behind on your side, which is just crazy. So we're definitely going to be taking by invitation only here. And if this weren't in the pack, like if this were a land or something, I'd probably take Dormant Grove, to be honest. I've been really impressed with this card. But we're going to take the Wrath for sure. How many times do I have to get past Dorothea in this set? Yeah, I'm just going to take it. So they took an uncommon over Dorothea. I mean, I guess that's with preferences, you know. I really, really do like the blue deck, and Dorothea is a great addition to it. Or the blue-white deck, I mean, and we already have a white card by invitation only. Good thing is, this is probably best in blue-white, because if your creatures die, they can go to the graveyard, and you can still get value off of some of them, right? So wouldn't mind playing Nurturing Presence, Lunar Rejection, or Siphon Essence if any of those wield. But we'll take Dorothea here. Followed up by a Storm Chaser Drake seems pretty good to me. Yeah. Fierce Retribution would obviously be nice, but we'll take the Storm Chaser Drake to go with the blue-white plan here. Maybe we'll get past a Catilda too, and then have the 5th draft on the channel or something where we've had Dorothea and or Catilda in a blue-white deck. Pretty good start here, honestly. I mean, I'm not sure I could ask for much more. You got a Wrath, you got a nice rare, 2 double rares, and an uncommon, all really good in the blue-white archetype. Seems good to me. Best card in this pack is probably Alluring Suitor, but there is a Kindly Ancestor, which goes well in this kind of deck. There's also a Heron of Hope, which I really like comboing with Traveling Ministers. There is a Chill of the Grave, which is fine, but not outstanding, and a Wanderlight Spirit. I think this deck needs Kindly Ancestor more than it needs Heron of Hope. If we had third picked, maybe like a Traveling Minister, I'd probably take this Heron of Hope, but I'm going to take the Disturbed Creature here to start, and follow it up with a Lantern Bearer. That's great. So, there's a Taxidermist here, there's an Epicure, there's a Knife, Bearer, Heron of Hope. I mean, there's a lot of really good cards in this pack. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me that this made it around to us here in pick 5, but we're going to go ahead and take it. Wow. Okay, looks like our archetype is opened, and I don't know which to take, Imprisonment or Minister. This is really difficult. I think I'm going to go with my first Imprisonment. This could be wrong. I do really like Minister. And honestly, I'd play either of these too. And maybe even Adamant will. I do really like Minister. But this is kind of an enchantments deck. And this is an enchantment. It is removal. I think if I am presented with this choice again in this draft, I'm going to take my first Minister over my second Imprisonment. And I hope that doesn't come back to bite me by seeing another Imprisonment here. But we'll see. Alright, Foreboding Statue seems fine. I don't know if we necessarily need to play it. We'll take it here. I haven't been a huge fan of splashing this format, and that's kind of where this card excels. But it also just seems fine to be a mana ramper that eventually turns into a 5/5, which is pretty nice. So let's hope we can get some more Traveling Ministers here at some point. Don't think we want to play any of these cards. We'll take the white Spirit card. Boarded Window's not very good. Hopefully we didn't hook up our neighbors into white with that Latent Minister, and then they moved into white thinking it's open, so that will get cut in pack 2. But the good news is blue has seemed very, very cut in this pack, so maybe we'll get blue in pack 2 and then fill it out with white in pack 3. Don't think we're looking to play Parish Blade Trainee in this deck. The Nurturing Presence did come back. Fine playing a copy of that in this deck. Works really, really well with Storm Chaser Drake. Would love to get a Brine Comber or 2 in this deck as well to really round it out. Cradle of Safety is another card that works really well with Storm Chaser Drake. Piercing Light, don't think we need to play it, but we have access to it if we want it. There's the Heron of Hope. Okay, that's pretty nice. Don't mind playing that. Maybe we get a last pick Minister here. Wouldn't that be something? Double Heron of Hope, sure. We won't get a last pick Minister, but... And an Advent Will, not so bad. I was just thinking to myself, what if we opened Catilda in this deck? Here we are, just kind of firmly in blue-white. What if we were to open Catilda? How funny would that be? Yeah, we're going to take it. I mean, sure. I feel like every time we've ended up in blue-white, we've had Catilda and or Dorothea, and those weren't even necessarily the reasons we moved into blue-white. They were just kind of open. So, yeah, we're gonna take Catilda here. Absolutely, and what a pack this is. All right, we've got Gutter Skulker, which I think might have a chance to wheel. We've got Fierce Retribution. We've got Sigarda's Imprisonment, Cradle of Safety, Lantern Bearer. I mean, we've kind of got everything here. I'm going to take Imprisonment. But, gosh, I could see someone taking Lantern Bearer, or maybe it's just between Imprisonment and Lantern Bearer here. Imprisonment is a little worse in a world where we have a Wrath. So maybe that's a reason to go with Lantern Bearer. This is a really tough decision here. I think I'm actually going to take the second Lantern Bearer over the second Imprisonment. That could be wrong, but it's really difficult there. Blue is not looking open this draft. I think I'll take a Fierce Retribution. Decent removal spell helps us kind of, if we're on the back foot and they're attacking, helps us get a nice little mana discount on killing a creature. Then we've got Heron Blessed Geist or Cradle of Safety. I think because we have Dorothea and Catilda, I want to shore up at least one copy of Cradle, maybe 2. Alright, so basically rare draft or take a second Nurturing Presence. I'll take the second Nurturing Presence here. Still looking for Brine Combers. I think that's what will kind of assure this deck. Up. Right now it's looking pretty good, obviously. We've got Catilda, Dorothea, we got a way to protect it, got some removal, all these kind of things. We need Traveling Ministers and Brine Combers, and I think that will kind of round out the deck to be a 10 out of 10 if we can find access to those. I think it's going to be more open from our right in pack 3. In pack 2, I think someone in our left is very much in white and or blue, because we're not seeing any blue. We'll go ahead and take the Geist here. Seems pretty good for our deck. But I think we're going to get hooked up in pack 3. Nothing for us here. We'll just cut blue. So you know your deck is open when you are basically 5 picks from the end of pack 2 and you have every single card in your pile is playable in your colors. That's when you know your deck is open. So hopefully out of that pack that we we took the second bearer over the imprisonment. Hopefully one of those cards wheels. There was 2 or 3. I think it was this pack. Maybe it was the next pack. It actually might have been this pack with the Gutter Skulker and... Oh, no, it wasn't, because it wasn't pick 1, because we picked Catilda out of this pack. So maybe it's the next pack, or we can get a Gutter Skulker, or an Imprisonment, or a Fierce Retribution, or something like that back. Let's see what comes. Yep, I think it was this pack. Shield Basher has been good in decks like this. I mean, if you put a Lantern Bearer backside on it and just go to town, it really works. I would like to get my second copy of Cradle of Safety. I think we can get a Shield Basher in pack 3 if we want one. Considering this one wheeled, if we really do want one, we can get another copy. But my second Cradle of Safety with cards like Dorothea, Catilda, things like that is really what I want here. And we're going to look to shore up kind of our creature count going into pack 3 as well. Get some ministers to go with these Heron of Hopes, things like that. Maybe some Cruel Witnesses, something like that. I'm going to leave the good green card for an opponent in case they want to shore themselves up in green here. Alright, and what do we open? Bit of a swing and a miss. Rare's not great. None of the uncommons are for us. We already have 2 Nurturing Presence. I think I'm going to take a Cruel Witness here, like I mentioned. I'm fine playing a copy or 2 in a blue-white deck. I don't think we need a 3rd Nurturing Presence, considering we only have the Drake, which is what it's best with, that or Brinecomber. So I think we'll take Witness. If we only end up with just the Drake and no other really good cards to target with Nurturing Presence, then I might only consider playing 1. A bit awkward here. The only card I'm interested in playing is Cradle, but we already have 2. There is Fear of Death, which maybe we could consider. I think I'm going to take Fear of Death because I don't know if I want to consider playing my 3rd Cradle here. So we'll just take Fear and maybe cut it later. And we are not getting hooked up, to say the least. We'll take our first Throng because we know there's one coming around. So we might be able to piece together 2 or 3. But we are... Looks like someone might have moved into our colors here. I think we'll take our first Shield Basher here. Yeah, again, it works really well with double Lantern Bearer and Protection. So, we'll take our first Shield Basher. I wonder if Supernatural Rescue is good in a blue-white Spirits deck. I mean, we have 6 Spirits, which actually isn't that many. To give it Flash to kind of push through that last little bit of damage in if we do it on their end step or something, but I don't think we need to necessarily try to consider testing things out here at this point. Sometimes you get lucky in the draft with some famous people or whatever. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. We've got Lantern Bearer, we've got Traveling Minister, Fierce Retribution, and Angelic Quartermaster. I don't know what to take. Quartermaster's insane. But we really want a Minister to go with these Heron of Hopes? Gosh. We've had to pass 2 Ministers, but Quartermaster's too good. Yeah, it's just too good of a card. We'll take a Geist here. That was... Why can't that pack have been spread out across multiple packs there? We already have an Adamant Will. I don't even think we need to play 2 with double Cradle, all that kind of stuff as well. So I'll just take an Evolving Wilds for the mana base. And here's our last chance at a Traveling Minister. Didn't quite get there. So I'll take another Adamant Will. So we had to take... What did we take over the Ministers in this draft? We took the Quartermaster and an Imprisonment. So... yeah, this deck needs Ministers, but gosh, Quartermaster and Imprisonment are both really good cards to have, obviously. So... I guess it's a good problem to have. So 26 playables, so we need to cut 2. No, 3? A lot of 2-drops. I don't think we need 3 Nurturing Presences. Maybe we could play 3 Cradles, but we'll see here. How many creatures? 14? Maybe 15 if we need to play another 2-drop here? Alright. We'll cut the lands and decide what to cut here. So, got 15 creatures, which is a pretty good amount. I think we might need to play the Vampire Slayer, considering these are all cards we don't really need to be blocking with, or block very well. So I think I like all of our creatures. So let's cut an Adamant Will. We can cut... maybe the 3rd Cradle? Or the Fear of Death. Let's see, how many enchantments do we have for Heron Plus Geist? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12? Wow, that's a lot. So I don't think we need to really run Fear of Death. It is another removal spell. Currently, we only have Fierce Retribution, Imprisonment, and the Wrath. Also, Nurturing Presence really, like I mentioned, only works well with Drake and maybe a Flyer, but it's not even great on a Flyer. So we can probably cut one of the Presences. And I think my last cut's going to be either Cradle or Fear of Death. I'm going to cut the 3rd Cradle over a decent-ish removal spell. And I think we can run it like that. Make sure the Wild gets in there. Put in some lands. Probably need to go, well, 8/8 now that we have the Wilds is fine. And there we go, it looks to be the deck. I think we've got 15 creatures, which is good. Lots of ways to protect them. Some Wrath, a bit of removal. And I think that's how we'll run it back here. If you wouldn't mind considering subscribing to the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. Really love to grow the channel with the help of everyone that enjoys watching. So if you are not new here and you've seen videos before, and this isn't your first, go ahead and consider subscribing to get notified about any future videos. And if you are new here, then welcome. You found a great new subscription channel here. Awesome, so we've got, let's see, we're on the play. Fear of Death is kind of early removal, but it's not great. 4-drop, 5-drop? Guess we'll keep it. We have a ton of 2-drops. 2 and 3s, I mean. So we basically anything we play, we can cast. Or anything we draw, we can cast. So... we'll just hope we don't get run over too soon here. Okay. Here's Gatilda. Do we just play Gatilda? I don't like it, but otherwise we do nothing, so we'll play Gatilda. Hopefully no imprisonment. Alright, so they're going to train that next turn. They could if they attacked with Spore Crawler. We could play Witness or Hope. Probably want to play Witness here. And then we can get in with that because we're not blocking with it. The next turn we can play Heron Blessed Geist. The following turn we can do Hope plus Fear of Death if we draw a land in the next 2 turns, which is not bad. But we'll have to see what... Then we just have all of the flyers we can knock them down with. So they aren't attacking with Perish Blade Trainee, so we don't need to consider trading here. I think that's fine for us. So we'll do this. We'll play the Heron Blessed Geist. And then we will get in there in the air. They have Piercing Light, which is not good for us, but it's not a card I'm particularly expecting them to play. Worst case, next turn we could just drop this on something and start going to town. If they just tap out for a random creature, then I think we just do that. Then they have to... Okay, so they're gonna Wolf Strike, so we can just Catilda on the Witness here. On the other hand, we could have Heron Hope and Fear of Death. Yeah, Fear of Death opens up Heron Blessed Geist Spirits next turn, or playing Catilda on something. So let's go Heron of Hope, and then we can do Fear of Death on this, because this doesn't matter. I think we're fine putting that in our graveyard, actually. Alright, and then we have good blocks here. If they have a removal spell for this, then maybe that's not the end of the world, because we're going to go to 6, but we do have all of this kind of stuff to give us lifelink and more bodies out of the graveyard here, so they are stuck on lands as well. Would not like to see an Apprentice Sharpshooter. Just play another random 3-drop that doesn't have reach. And then if we draw a land... Oh, God. So... we have to chump now? That was fun. Okay, so we can play Geist and hold up Retribution here. We can play Drake, Ancestor, and hold up Retribution. Let's play Geist here. Get the 2 1/1s. And then we can hold up Retribution on the trainee, but the problem is they're going to put their 2 counters on the infantry, but we have double chump if we need it. So let's actually play Stormchaser Drake here. That way we can try to race in the air, because we do have double chump if we need it here. Man, Arm the Cathars is a really good card. I always underrate it, but it does work. Okay, so there's that. So now we can jump here. And we could trade. They still don't have the mana to use the backside of this. So this is equal to the number of permanents that are spirits and or enchantments. So we could even keep this spirit around, use Catilda next turn, jump with Drake here. That way, Catilda, the backside actually gives this +3/+3, so there'd be a 6/6 lifelinker. Yeah, I'm actually going to jump like this here. We didn't draw the land. Okay, so we could imprison, hold up retribution, because this is going to get trained if they attack again. So let's imprison the Parish Blade trainee. Do we need a Heron of Hope? I don't think we do. And I think we're actually going to hold back here, because this is going to get really, really good here soon. On the Witness, I think we're going to hold back, because we are at 3 after all. So they found a land, but it's delayed here. Pass. I don't like that. I don't know if I want to go for Catilda because they could be holding up Wolf Strike. So let's play another creature here. We can hold up Retribution again. Yeah, as long as they have 3 mana up, I don't want to be playing enchantments on things. Really close game here. Hope it doesn't come down to a random misplay or something, but we do have backup if they try to attack or remove our Witness or something, so at least there's that. Okay, that's a good card. Here's the plains. So what we can do is play Catilda on Cruel Witness, get in there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 lifelink, and then keep back Fierce Retribution. I don't think we need any more land. So it's already got lifelink. If we put this on it, it would have 9, but we don't need to do that right now. So let's just attack with that. And we'll end the turn here. I feel like if they had an imprisonment, they would have used it already, so they probably don't have a way to remove the Witness, I don't think. Unless they top deck maybe Fierce Retribution or something. I'd like to keep our 2 spirits around, because even if they kill the Witness, then these are both lethal if we remove the Rider next turn. I'm feeling like they have a Wolf Strike. Dormant Grove. Yikes. Okay, okay. I think that's fine, because we can cleave Fierce Retribution on their Griff Rider next turn, and then they die. So we're taking 7... Trample... Oh, and Lifelink. So we'll pass the blockers, and... They didn't get priority, so... We're taking 7 down to 4. I don't think they can deal 4 damage to us with 1 Plains here. So I don't think we need to block. We're going to save this to get rid of their Griff Rider. And that should do it. Sure, I'll pay. And that will do it. Alright, close game there, close game. But we managed to pull it out. I think in a deck like this, Fear of Death is actually not that bad of a card. It got rid of that Spore Crawler. They could never trade it off. They could never draw a card. You know. I think we got a mulligan this one. Can't really do anything with that hand. We'll keep 6 here. And this is a bit awkward. Because the easy bottom is the Quartermaster, but it's one of our best cards in the deck. So I'm going to bottom the Nurturing Presence here because it doesn't have outstanding targets in our deck. And we can just go 2-drop, 3-drop, removal spell, draw a land or 2 or whatever, and then play Quartermaster. Okay, so they are given priority, which means they have Adamant Will, Cradle of Safety, something along that line. So we'll have to remember when we go for Imprisonment that they could have Cradle. Maybe they have Fierce Retribution, but if they want to use it on a Vampire Slayer, then be my guest. Yeah, that's fine. A white wouldn't be bad, or really any land. So yeah, specifically a white. So they do have, they're going to hold up Cradle, I think. Makes sense. And we're going to miss the land drop, which is not good. So let's get in. Even Cradle lets these trade. Okay, Adamant Will maybe? Valorous Stance gets Indestructible. Okay, well we don't need to save ours then. Okay, so they draw a card off of that. We'll gain 2 life. We can play Dorothea or Storm Chaser Drake of our own. Probably Storm Chaser Drake. Next turn that leaves up Adamant Will to target it if we need to. So it looks like Valorous Stance might have been why they got priority on the Vampire Slayer. So no priority. I think we can just trade. See what they end up with here. Still wouldn't mind drawing a white to go Dorothea, hold up Adamant Will on something. Unless they drop like some 5 mana bomb here. We're just going to imprison it likely. Okay. And Respiratory Scob getting back Valorous Stance, I suppose. Chill of the Grave. Okay, so now another card we can't cast. We don't really want to imprison that, so I guess we're playing Dorothea? Yep, still need a white. Hopefully they don't have imprisonment now. Grindcomber, there's a card that we would have liked to see. Still no white, still no land. Okay, we can't do anything. So go ahead. Do I care about that? I mean, they're going to be able to get in for one. They're going to have a good attack with the Scob, I suppose. We could double block. Yeah, I don't really care. Usually Screw beats Flood, so if we can draw out of this, we'll be able to cast a lot of cards in our hand, but as the board currently sits, we are not able to do so. That's pretty good, because they're going to make us top a creature, and we probably can't do it, because we need to draw land. Probably sack Brinecomber here, maybe just their Spirit. Let's see what they make us put on top. The Ancestor, I don't think we can do that. So we're going to decline, because we need a land. Alright, past the blockers. We'll go ahead and trade Adamant Will for that. And miss another land here. We could imprison their Diver Scob, but that doesn't seem great. So, yeah, we just need a white. A white would be really good with Catilda because we can have safety backup for it. No blocks. Okay, so they're playing like blue-white exploit, basically. Likely top to land, so they can double spell here. Okay. White. There's the white. Alright. I think we play Catilda, hold up Cradle of Safety here. The next turn we can imprison and still hold up safety if we didn't need to use it. We could Quartermaster, but okay, that's pretty good. Sure. So let's imprison the Screaming Swarm. I know they can mill us if they start attacking, but this grows our Catilda. And I'm willing to just attack with it here, because now they can't block except with the 1/1 Spirit. If we draw another land, we can go Quartermaster still holding up safety, which would be really good for us. Okay, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Turns Catilda back to a 2/2. Heron of Hope, okay. Pass. Interesting, no attacks. So no land, but next turn this will ensure that we do have the land. So we can play this and then probably just pass here. So next turn we can go Quartermaster holding up safety, which will be really good for us. They found their splash. Hopefully they don't have it in hand. They did find their splash. So our plan of winning through the air is not going super well right now. Okay, so pass to attackers. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll trade with Stitch Assistant here, I think. Yeah, it seems fine to me. Alright, my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Quartermaster. We'll put it on these two here, and we'll still hold up Cradle. No attacks. I really want them to kind of dump their hand so I can double Waltzer. Alright, that's kind of scary. Okay, resolves. Do I want to trade Dorothea for Heron of Hope? That way next turn we can put Dorothea on the back of Catilda and still protect it? Yeah, I think I do. If they're just going to give it lifelink, then that gives us protection here. Okay. Now we don't have to feel so bad when we put this on the back of Catilda. So they're out of mana, so we can just do this and then go to my turn. Let's do... We can also put this on Quartermaster, which would be good. Then they would have to choose what they want to remove here. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's actually put this on... Well, if we put this on Quartermaster, they can triple block, and then we just trade it for Waltzer, basically. If we put it on Catilda, it becomes a 3/3. We can Fear of Death one of the Waltzers, which is not great because they have a Screaming Swarm coming. So where do we want to put this? On Catilda makes it a 3/3, which still isn't that great. The Quartermaster. Huh. This is really difficult here. I think I'm actually going to put it on the Quartermaster. And then we can Fear of Death the Screaming Swarm next turn, ideally. We could attack right now, use Cradle if they triple block here, or on either one, but that isn't the greatest of plans, I don't think. I really want to Fear of Death the Screaming Swarm. So I don't think we can attack. It's a bit awkward, but I don't think we can attack. Because I don't want to Fear of Death this, because they'll get another 1/1. Okay, so return that to our hand, which would kill that. So I think we need to protect that now. So they're not going to play Screaming Swarm again. Okay, resolves. We're going to have to take another 5, I think. Yeah. No blocks. So let's play the land. 1, 2, 3... 4, we can play this. That way this untaps at the end of turn. Looks like they might have a counter spell. That sucks. Okay. Now we can Fear of Death something. Again, I still want to Fear of Death this, but this is going to turn into a 5/5 end of turn. If we Fear of Death this, it doesn't really matter because this stonewalls it, so... I don't think I can. So let's actually just go to combat. So if we... Gosh, this is difficult. This is a hard game. Very hard game. This has pro vampires, so it's good news on the Waltzer front. We can just stonewall these attackers if we wanted to. We can get in with both. We go to 13. And then if they remove this, they'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if they removed our statue, and we'd be at 13 because this is going to make another spirit. That's still fine. So they're going to chump. So we're up to 13, and we're going to save our Fear of Death for their Screaming Swarm here. Okay. They likely just have to play it, I think. Otherwise, we can do exactly what we just did last turn and hit them for another 13 or whatever. So there it is. That's what we were waiting for. They're thinking long and hard about where to put these. They might be able to attack. They can attack us for 6, but they don't know that we're going to come back and hit them for probably lethal if they attack with both of those. Okay, so they'll hit us with 1. They're milling themselves. Doesn't matter, so let's hit Screaming Swarm here. And get in there with everything. Alright, we go to 16. Still have a decent board, but we did hit a land, so that's not great for us. Hopefully they don't have a Wrath. That's pretty good. It survived. It lets them survive here. Get some 2/1/1s. Okay, so we'll add a blue. We'll just play the Cruel Witness here. And then we'll get in there with everything. They have to triple chump our flyers. They have to chump everything, which is good news for us. So basically a Wrath is the only thing that can get them out of this, I guess. So we didn't really need to play Cruel Witness there. Might have been a bit of a mistake, because again, a Wrath is the only thing that could have got them out of that, but looks like we were all right in the end. So we are on the draw here. We have removal if we fall behind. We have a creature we can cast, and any blue kind of opens up the hand going forward, so I think we got to keep it. So that's pretty bad against Fierce Retribution here. So we don't want to use it on that, obviously. Pretty good curve out by them. Three mana, 3/2, make a 2/2, draw a card, and scry one. It's a pretty good card. Blue. Nope. Alright, here's this. I think we got a block with it. Okay, playing Serpentine Ambush. There's our blue. So we can do Vampire Slayer plus Storm Chaser Drake. Yeah, I think that's what we want to do here. Trade here, we'll keep the Drake around. Okay, so clearly they have some sort of counterspell or something, but we can draw 2 cards if we lifelink this up and save it when they try to kill it. So I'm interested in doing that. Or they just have nothing. That works too. So let's lifelink that up and get in. And yeah, end the turn, I suppose. So we can now save it, draw another card. Make them burn their whole 6 mana turn. And we'll play a land, we'll play statue so we can get that going here. And then I guess we could just play Lantern Bearer. We don't have another protection spell in hand, so if they get rid of our Drake at this point, I think we've gotten enough value out of it. Okay, Cruel Witness, we can cleave. We can cleave Fierce Retribution to get rid of that. We can also just Fear of Death it, which seems pretty good. So let's actually do that. Let's Fear of Death here. Get a trigger. Don't need another land. Okay. Go to attackers. And we don't need to attack with Bear because I could just bounce it. So we'll get in here. And we do have an enchantment. So well, if this was in the graveyard, we could use it. So they're going to sacrifice their Witness to get back Grisly Ritual, probably? It's pretty slow. They didn't get any priority here, so I think they're just trying to bluff us. Okay, so we can go Geist, holding up Retribution, but they're just going to kill something. So that, I mean, that seems fine either way, though. So let's go Geist. We can hold up Retribution if we need to, and yeah, they know that their only out is to play Grisly Ritual, and then at that point we've kind of just won already, so. Alright, nice little blue-white deck here. Let's see if we can keep it rolling. This is awkward, but any land opens up Statue, which opens up Geist, which kind of opens up the hand. So we are first, but gosh, this could be bad. Cross your fingers. And a turn 1 Traveling Minister is not good. Okay, so at least there's that. So now our hand is kind of open if Statue sticks around here. Okay. So let's get Statue down. Hopefully we draw another land, otherwise next turn we just have to go Shield Basher, which isn't great on this board. Okay, can't block that. Maybe they have Fierce Retribution or Adamant Will or something, but they're getting priority throughout their turn here. Another Minister. Okay, so they missed a land, so did we. Let's play Heron of Hope. Yeah, seems pretty good. Do we just trade it with Parish Blade Trainee at this point? Gosh, these ministers are gonna go to town on us. It's the problem. And they found their second land here, or second color, so we might be in trouble. Okay, so they're gonna, that's a pretty good attack here. So they obviously have a trick. But I think we have to make them use it. Because then they can't play another creature, which is good. So obviously they have like Adamant Will or whatever, or Piercing Light, which is, yeah, whatever. Still trades, they 2-for-1 themselves to do that. So. And hopefully they don't have a follow-up 2-drop. Kind of. Okay, good draw for us. So we can go Geist here. Next turn we can go Catilda holding up Cradle. It's pretty good for us, so we'll just do that. So if they pump the trainee and attack, I don't think I want to block, because that pumps our Catilda by 1 more by having a spirit. Okay. It's getting a little awkward here, but... we will have a 5/5 next turn. Okay, another land. So let's go white, white, blue, and play Catilda. And then we can pass here. And then we have a 5/5. So trainee can't really get in anymore. And we have backup. Hopefully it's just like lacerate flesh or something. It's not. It's a pretty good draw by them, but our Thresher still kind of holds it down for us, which is good. Okay. Yep. So white, so we'll do this here for sure. Then we can still hold up all kinds of protection. This is some of the weirdest art I've seen on a Magic card. It's such a realistic baby. So if they oh gosh, so they clearly have something here. Okay, resolves. So let's see what they have. We're going to do this and this because we don't want to double block that because they have open mana here. And maybe they have some kind of trick, but so do we. So let's see what they have. The trainee will be able to dump its counters somewhere, which is not great for us. Okay, so they're going to give that indestructible. It's pretty good for them. So we can give the Geist indestructible as well. Which I think we're going to have to do so that we don't kind of die. Because we're taking 4 right now. They're going to be able to pump things in the air even more. They are at 25. Yikes. Okay, okay. It's getting a little interesting here, that's for sure. We'll add a white. Geez. Okay, do we... We don't have lethal. No way. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20... Gosh, we're close, but not quite. Okay, so let's start by nurturing presence somewhere. We can start by presencing probably the Shield Basher. So now we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Total of 21, which is not enough. So we can cradle still. Let's go to combat. We'll get in like this, I think. We could get in with Catilda, keep Cradle of Safety for backup. We can chump with one of the spirits, but we're gonna have to chump with the spirit basically no matter what. So getting Catilda in to gain some life could be good for us here. Don't need to do that. Okay, so they're kind of dead on the backswing here. And they need like triple removal, kind of. Which they can't do while pumping cavalry and bringing celebrants through. Another really close game. These have been really good games here. That's good news for us. Okay, 2 cards left. And a Shield Basher. I don't think I care about that too much. Now they can't even pay the 1 and a white to give Celebrants flying here, but they can hit us for 6, so... Let's see if they... Well, no, I don't even think they can, because we're going to have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the backswing, so we have lethal if they attack with cavalry here. But they don't. Dorothea's pretty good. So we'll cast her. Let's see. So if we attack with Catilda, Geist, and Spirit. And they block this, we'd get in for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is not enough. We do have backup to block and things. I think we can definitely get in like that. Probably like this too. We're not going to be able to give this indestructible because we need the extra mana. But we're going to have to use a cradle to save it from the cavalry. We'll still have a cradle on the back, and then they won't have any flyers, and then we can win next turn. Yeah, I think I just like that better. Then this can help protect us. Yeah. So they're going to offer the trade, I would think. And we're going to say no thank you. Okay, that's fine too. Alright, go ahead. We have double backup. We have 3 flying blockers to their potentially 1, 2, 3 flying attackers. That doesn't matter. That could matter, but probably not. But probably not. Okay. My turn. Not a good draw. What if we attacked with everything? They don't have any lifelink. So they could eat it, they would jump, and then die. So if we attacked with all the flyers, they would block, take 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it seems like lethal to me. So we will get in there with all of the flyers. Again, they only have 2 blockers here. This one and this one will block the 2 most. We did 3, 4, 5, and 6. So yep, should be good. Looks like they should have been using their minister here. And we will just pump these to get through. And there we go. Alright, trucking along here, making our way to Diamond, hopefully. Pretty good here. We got 2 drop. We have a Wrath if we ever need it. Looks pretty good. We'll play Drake first here, because it can theoretically keep getting in. Hopefully no Bolt or a Braid. But if they do, then that's just the price of doing business. Nope, alright. So let's get in here. Flame Blast Bolt would be really bad for us if we play out a turn and go Slayer. But even if we play this, then we're going to have to play this next turn. So let's just play it now and hope they don't have Bolt. They do have Bolt. Well, it looked like they did. We will not block. Not an awful draw there. This does not pump that, so let's get in. Ah, they had Fierce Retribution, but that's okay. We'll be able to get the backside of this at some point if they use Fierce Retribution here. Or maybe Piercing Light, either one. Either one's fine. Do they have Piercing Light and Fierce Retribution? No? Alright. Okay, that's why they did that one. No, I'm good. We'll go ahead and get in with Vampire Slayer and play Heron Blessed Geist here. Okay, that'll start to push through some damage here. Let's play our land and get in there with Heron Blessed Geist. And play Heron of Hope. So this will be able to be trained by the Shield Basher, and they could both have flying, so we could be at a bit of an awkward board position here. But if they don't draw another creature... Okay, so they're going to keep their cavalry back. They're going to give this indestructible. We can't block it. Oh god. That's pretty funny. Okay, yeah, sure. Alright, well, yeah, we'll play Lantern Bearer, and we can put Catilda on back of it. Let's just do that. Be mana efficient here. Gets it out of the way of Flame Blast Bolt, and hopefully they don't draw a Braid? Question mark? Next turn we can go Geist, and then we can really start going to town if this survives. No Braid. No Braid. Yeah, that I don't care about. Cool. One, two, three, four. Go ahead and use that. and get in there with the lifelinker. Assuming they don't have another Wrath, that should probably do it for us. Okay, I don't care about that. Cradle of Safety on this will be lethal next turn, so yeah, should do it. Right, still gets... backside is power and tough to equal number of permanents you control that are spirits and or enchantments. So this will give +2/+2, and yeah. Alright, awesome. Alright, my turn. We'll play another spirit. Doesn't really matter. And then cradle this up. Get on in there. And there we go. We survived the Wrath. That's pretty funny. Alright, trucking along here. Dull username. Okay. I will be the judge of that. Yeah, hand seems fine. Double 5-drop's a bit awkward, but we do have a 2-drop at the very least, so we will keep it. And now we hope we draw 3... Gosh, get out there. Now we hope we draw 3 into 4. Into land, which would be really, really nice. Okay. So there's a 3, but I don't know if it's what we really want to be using right now, so let's attack. And then pass. So we are going to light our mana on fire this turn, which is not good. But they don't seem to be adding the most pressure. So there's a 4. So we drew 3 into 4. Okay, that'll be a good thing to imprison. Let's be mana efficient, put down the flyer here. Okay, Cruel Witness, pretty good for them too. They don't even attack with Gutter Skulker, that's weird. Alright, let's go ahead and probably just Quartermaster here. And then we can get in like that. Trade off the Quartermaster with the Witness if we need to. Probably gonna sacrifice and get rid of our Heron of Hope, I would think. Do we want to draw that? I don't think we do. Pretty good card there. Pretty good card. So, we can go Heron Blessed Geist. We can also go Imprisonment on the Skulker, play Drake, which I think I like better. Let's offer the trade here, because I think I'm fine letting that happen. Okay. And then we'll go Drake. Okay, don't care about that. I think we'll just go Geist and get in there with... Oh no, they have Syncopate. Oh no, they don't have Blood Token. Okay. No Reach. Nope. So we'll attack like that. Interesting decision. So we have a Shield Basher back, and they didn't attack with Scob or block with it. So maybe they just didn't want to trade. If we would attack with this, they would have taken it? I don't even know. Okay, so now they attacked with it. We won't block, because we can pump that next turn. Okay, so let's go to combat. That comes in tapped, so that's fine. We'll attack with everything, and we will give that indestructible. They're likely to chump with Doom Dissenter. And then we could just play another flyer here. We could play the Lantern Bearer, and then next turn we would have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage to get through. They could have a Siphon Essence here, or Syncopate, which would not be good for us. So I think I'm willing to just play Lantern Bearer. Right, yeah, so they did have the counter spell, so that I don't care about. Because they can Syncopate for 2, and yeah, so there you go. So we know they have a counter spell in hand. And we'll have to hope it's Siphon Essence and not Syncopate, because Syncopate can counter our Cradle. So we'll pass. So one of the cards... Oh, God. Okay, good game. Yeah, that's about it. That'll do it for this one. Sure, whatever. Yeah, we're done here. Alright, so whenever I had this card, it's awful whenever they do. It comes down and I lose the game. So, on to the next one. I've played 6 games with Dreadfeast and my Demon in this format. And I am 0-6 in those games. I think I've played 3 or 4 games where my opponent cast a Dreadfeast Demon. I am 0-4 in those games. That's alright. It's the price of doing business here sometimes. So on to the next one. Yeah, so we have no play until 4. These don't even do anything on this board. They did mulligan, though. We'll keep. Alright, no more lands. We can draw one more, but after we draw a couple of 2 and 3 drops. At least it's removal if they play something good here. Okay, that is less than something good. Alright, well, let's attack. See what they do. Hit them for 1. Okay, that's fine too. I don't think we need to save it here. We just play Heron of Hope. So this is fine going to our graveyard. Wandering Mind, okay. So let's attack. We'll play Storm Chaser Drake. And I think we can hold up Cradle here. In case they go for... Well, they can't even cast Lacerate Flesh. So we could just play Lantern Bearer. Yeah, I'm just going to get the creatures down on the board here. We could have cast Nurturing Presence on the Drake, which I think might have been better, because now they could remove it. Okay. So let's do that. Draw a card. All right. Three, two. Play our land. We could imprison this, but I don't really want to be imprisoning that. So let's just get in there with Heron of Hope. Okay. Do they have some sort of pump spell? They're chumping. Alright. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we can save our Drake at the very least. So, and we get to draw another card. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. That was pretty brutal. Oh my gosh, how many removal spells are you gonna have? The good old blue-white Vampire's Vengeance deck. Okay, so we have 5 mana. We will be mana efficient here. They could just lacerate flesh, but, you know, what are we gonna do about it? Alright. Holy moly. They might have the nuts blue-white deck here. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Okay, let's just play Cruel Witness. No, because we need to hold up Cradle. I don't need... Well, I would like to. It blanks one of their Lacerate Fleshes. But they've proven they don't have a land in hand, so they have to top deck exactly a land if we don't want to get value out of Quartermaster next turn. Oh, this is difficult, but... Let's go Cruel Witness into Ancestor. Here, we'll get a trigger. I don't think we want that. This has lifelink, and they still have to double block. Hopefully they have no land. And that we do draw a land next turn. That'd be really good for us. Okay. I'm fine with that. So there's their land. They're just going to lacerate flesh. And now I think we are at the advantage, but our Quartermaster is the only thing we have. And it doesn't give any buffs to anything, which is not good. We could also imprison and do Heron Blessed Geist, which would be fine, but I don't know how much we want to be imprisoning that, because it can still get value. But we can exile it. So they're going to make a 3-2. Probably. Next turn they're probably going to play Journal and make a 3-2, or make a 3-2 then play Journal. We could do Quartermaster, save it with Cradle of Safety, but I want to get this off the board soon. And then we can do this. So next turn we have to use 5 mana to exile the Wolf Rider. That makes sense. And then they'll play Journal, so we knew they would do that. We need to use 5 mana here, so they can't do that again. Then we can hold up Fierce Retribution on their wolf. That was pretty dumb, but whatever. We weren't going to block with them. So let's just get this out of the way here. Next turn we can go Quartermaster, put 2 counters on it, and use Cradle of Safety. And hold up Cradle of Safety here. So let's do that. Hopefully no more removal from them. Oh my god, are you kidding me? This deck is insane, man. It's just a couple of creatures and nothing but removal. So Cradle of Safety doesn't even save these. So, yeah, that resolves. Goodness. We're getting owned here, man. How are you in gold? This deck is like kind of nuts. I mean, theoretically, they're going to run out of removal at some point. So hopefully they just go for the Lacerate Flash. They do. So we can play Geist here. We can also discard Geist to get the 1/1s, but I'd rather have a 3/3 flyer. Yeah, so let's just play the Geist here. We could discard this end of turn. Actually, we could discard that now, because I do think we have another Lantern Bearer in deck. That's alright. This is 4 or more? Yeah, so next turn we can get rid of the boarded window. If they don't kill anything, but based on their deck so far, they will likely kill something. Okay, double boarded window is pretty difficult to get through. Said this card's not great, but it's pretty difficult here. So we can use Adamant Will to get through it. So right now we're hitting them for 2/3. We can use Adamant Will, or we can Lantern Bearer one of these. I think I actually want to Lantern Bearer the Heron Blessed Geist, because that lets us get through, and it puts it out of a Braid range. So now we get rid of both boarded windows. And we have backup if they go for a removal spell. Okay. Don't care about either of those. Or that. Alright, my turn. That's awkward. So we can get in for 10, which is not enough. This is going to flip, but we're at 20, so I think we're fine on that front. So 8, 9, 10 lands so far. So we have 6 in our last 15. That's alright. So they have to have triple removal spell, basically, for us to not win here. They're digging for something. Looks like they didn't find it. Awesome. Yeah, that deck was That deck was pretty sweet, honestly. Maybe the Vampire's Vengeance just lined up super well against us twice, which is crazy. That card would not be good against certain decks, but it's pretty good against ours, at least when they used it. So. Okay, so we need a blue. We have a 2-drop. We'll keep it. No Minister. Okay, good. That's not what I meant by we need a blue. Okay, that's fine if they want to use it on this. That's also not what I meant by we need a blue. Alright, well, at least we can play a creature here. We're 2 blue lands away from Cruel Witness, so Plains is like the worst draw in our deck, probably. There we go, that's something. Let's attack. And sure, we can pay 1. Why not? So they can syncopate for X equals 2. If they have Siphon Essence, then they have Siphon Essence, but we need to play a creature here. Okay, they didn't. It's good. Yeah, that is fair. Do we want to kill Distracting Geist here? Probably? Well, I don't know, we can Fear of Death it next turn or something. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Okay, so clearly they have a counter spell here. And if we play Shield Basher, they're just gonna counter it. So let's start with Lantern Bearer. So they can syncopate for X equals 4. They can also just Siphon Essence. We can hold up Retribution still. Yeah, let's just let them not do anything here. Scattered Thoughts would not be good. Another Retrieval. Okay. I think at this point I'm willing to kill the Geist, or at least attempt to. Okay, so there's their counter spell. I'm fine if they want to use it on that. That's okay with me. Now we can imprison the Geist and play Drake. Yeah, it's pretty good. And we're not winning this race, so I'll offer trades for the Lantern Bearer here. They used 2 bounce spells. So how are we kind of even on board and cards in hand? What did we do that they didn't? Did we mulligan? I don't know. Okay, so we can't Fear of Death and Shield Basher, but I wouldn't mind Fear of Deathing that. Let's just do this now. let's just, while this can resolve, let's just cast this card. We can chump the Scob with the Lantern Bearer and put that on top of the Shield Basher if we wanted to. Oh, jeez. Okay. So they don't have a creature in the yard. But they can exile probably our Shield Basher, but then we can still trade with it and things. We can Fear of Death the Scob. Which I think is fine here. And we can hold up Cradle. It's a pretty good mill for us. Don't really have good attacks here though, so we'll pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So of land would let us have Catilda plus Cradle of Safety backup, which would be insane. And if we put that on the Drake, then GG pretty much. Okay, that's a pretty good draw for them. Yeah, so they just want to train their savior here, but we're probably going to exile our Shield Basher. Okay, that's fair. So when we eat this, we can use Cradle to eat that, and then they're going to get a Distracting Geist back. Alright, okay. It's pretty good. Yeah, we need to do it now, because they're going to train it again next turn, which is going to be really bad for us. So let's eat it. We could also trade, but I want to put Catilda... Could put Catilda on the Shield Basher and really go to town. And yeah, we don't need to give them that. So let's just do this. So they get a Distracting Geist. We draw a land, but we used our Cradle already. So 4, 5, 6, 7. We can put Catilda on Drake to draw a card. I think that's still better than putting it on Shield Basher. Although we have 1, 2, 3 enchantment, so it's going to get +3/+3. It can get past the Quartermaster now. Let's draw a card. Draw another land. And then we'll get in there with these two. Giving this indestructible. And really hope they don't have another removal or bounce spell for the Drake here. Alright, they go to 5. We're going to go to... well, it depends. Maybe we lucked out here? Well, there's another land, of course. So we can attack with this. They'll have to double block, but then... let's play a land. This isn't a spirit, so it's not going to get anything else. I think we attack with all of them here. We kind of... they don't have Fierce Retribution because they could have cleaved it. They could have Piercing Light, but that's still not great. Okay, that all makes sense. Okay, we go to 23. Oh no, they had the Siphon Essence still. Well, we couldn't not play it. Okay, well. We are ahead, but we need to draw something. We do need to draw something, that's for sure. It's kind of something. We can't attack with Shield Basher because they could just block it again. But we can, it'll push 1 damage through, so let's get in with both of these. And we'll give this indestructible. All right, coming down to the wire here. It's a pretty good draw for them, because now we can't get in anymore. It's also a pretty good mill for us. So here's what we could do. I think it's lethal. So we do this. We have each player sacrifice 4 creatures. We're left with the Shield Basher. And then we get on in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get in for lethal. There we go. What a deck. Alright, we're climbing back up the ranks, and our record is rapidly improving. Let's hope we can keep it up. Maybe it's not quite too late to get back up into the upper 50s win percentage for this set, but back-to-back 7-1 drafts. You know what? I think if you told me I would do that prior to yesterday's draft, I would happily accept. So thanks so much for watching this video. I really enjoy blue-white. I hope you enjoy watching me play it. That'll do it for this one. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow for a special daily draft.